Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do this video a little bit different to my regular vlogs just because it was a group holiday, there was a lot of people there. I didn't always want to be that one that's like, hey, I'm vlogging. I wanted to actually have a relaxing week, so I wasn't actually gonna vlog at all at first. But then I've really been getting into watching Claudia Sloweski, I think that's how you say her last name, probably butchered it, sorry about that, her vlogs, and she does like a monthly roundup and she sits and she speaks like this and she just shows what she's done, and I think that's a really lovely way of showing what you've done and not always having to be like, you know? So that's what I'm doing this week. I hope you like this format. If you don't, too late. But yeah, I've got myself a little cup of tea in my Auntie Gracie mug because I'm obviously back in England now where it's full-on autumnal vibes. But I do have still a bit of holiday going on because I've got my shorts still on, and I don't know about anyone else, but when you've been on holiday, do you want to wear like white so you can see your tan better? Because that's what I'm doing. Anyway, let's get into the video. We went from Manchester Airport. We had a little Chinese the night before, which was lovely. And the flight, we didn't pick seats together. So I was actually sat on my own, but I was sat next to a window and I was reading on my Kindle, and I had the 5th book of the Throne of Glass series to finish. So that was my reading material. Whilst on the plane as well, just before I got on, I downloaded the full Olivia Dean album because it came out at midnight literally that morning, and our flight was at like 6 AM, I want to say. It was very early, so I got in there quick. I downloaded the album. Also, look what's come. A vinyl. I'm actually going to put this on afterwards, I think, after I film this. This actually came with mine and Peden's tickets when we went the other day. That video is the previous video, I think. So yeah, got that, listened to the album. So I think I went, listen to the album, read my book, listen to the album, read my book, listen to the album, read my book. I did download some episodes of Made in Chelsea because I'm watching it from the start for some reason, which is a mammoth task, may I add. But I didn't end up watching any. So I was really into my book and I was really into the album. Don't you know? I feel like I've really divulged into that a bit too much. Nobody cares. Anyway, we got there. I think the flight is around 4 hours to Crete, and obviously we had big luggage, had to wait for that, got a taxi, met this lovely taxi driver called Penelope, and she helped us for the rest of the holiday, so love to you, P. I didn't call her P once, I don't know why, I've just called her P that. And we were actually really nervous about the villa because it only had about 3 reviews or something like that on booking.com, maybe a few more. But we were like, oh God, I hope this villa's real. And it was. It had a tennis court, has a big swimming pool. The inside, the interior was fine, but like the outside really made it. And I suppose when you're on holiday anyway, you spend most of the time outside, so it's not a big deal. But if it was to have one con, it was maybe the interior needed a bit of improvement and the drainage. But yeah, overall, super happy with where we were staying. But we couldn't check in until 4 PM, so we headed straight out and went to the restaurant, which was across the road. Now, oh God, 2 minutes into the walk, literally across the road, I was looking out for a menu, I think. Connor was like, there's the menu there. Big dip in the road, twisted ankle, grazed knee, all within the space of not even 5 minutes. I got up from that, blood on my white and blue trousers, which are my favourite. Ankle throbbing in pain. I'm not actually going to go into too much detail because when people talk about these things, it actually doesn't I don't like that, so I'm not going to do it, but the pain made me feel sick. So when we got to the restaurant, luckily I could walk on it. I had to elevate it and do some breathing exercises, but it wasn't the most ideal first 5 minutes of the holiday ever. So yeah, had a lovely Greek salad though, so I suppose that made up for it. And then the next morning, because, oh, sorry, we did then get into the villa, and I think we just chilled, drank and chilled, played some games. Yeah, I think so. Then the next morning, woke up and I really needed to like stretch out the old ankle injury. So I woke up and I did some laps of the villa. Luckily, it was feeling better. But I think that is when I did my kind of first initial rundown of the villa for you. Morning everyone. I just came outside to like practice walking because the ankle's a bit stiff. And I've accidentally locked myself out. So I thought, why not do a bit of an outside tour whilst I'm here, and I'm going to read my book and then wait for someone to wake up to let me in. What is going wrong with me this holiday? What the hell? But the outside is amazing. Got a little pool area. This is the house and the pool. Not been in the pool yet because it's really cold. Little bar area. Just past the bar area. Sorry, I'm going really slow because my ankle, so maybe I'll speed this part up. Just past the bar area, we have a tennis and basketball court. What the hell? You can see the sea and the sun trying to come out. It's a little bit cloudy right now, but I can see blue skies poking out. We need to do a food shop in a minute. Honestly, actually, this flooring is good for the ankle. Oh yeah. I can really stretch it out here, so maybe I'll just look like I'm playing tennis when I'm actually just walking up and down. I also would have been on my camera, but I can't go back inside and get it, so sorry for the iPhone footage for now. Oh, there's another bit I need to show. Here's a little gate. I wonder if that's a route down to the sea. I love all the greenery here, it's so cute. Just past the house, this is the house. There's another area to eat. How nice. And it's got a pizza oven and a barbecue. I presume we could hang our clothes there. Would be good if it was fairy lights. But yeah, cute. And then because we were staying in a villa, it was time to do a food shop. We'd found a Lidl not too far away, and me, Chloe and Brad went, and oh my god, it actually took out a big chunk of our second day because it was about a half-an-hour drive to get to the Lidl. I think we spent over an hour in Lidl because my god, the trolley was full. Side note, Lidl has some excellent gluten-free bread. If you are gluten-free, you should try it. Incredible. Then half an hour to return back, unpacking it all, and then we did a bit of sunbathing. Even though we'd done a food shop, we actually went out for dinner. We kept saying this, like, let's not go out for dinner all the time. We've done a big food shop, but we kept doing it. We walked down to the little kind of town area. It was about a 15-20 minute walk. It was nice going down the hill to the front. We always got a taxi back, but the taxi was quite cheap on the way back, so that was all right. We kept calling it Agia Pelagia, but it's definitely just not how you pronounce it, is it? So I'll put the name on, but I hope it's something like that. But we loved it. It was really cute, really beautiful, really nice setting. The sea was always really close. It just felt like you were kind of out at sea. It was nice. And we had a cocktail. Let me see if I can see a picture of what cocktail I had. Oh, and a marg. If anyone knows me, I love a margarita. So I had that, and then we went to this really beautiful restaurant, very Greek in style, and I had, do you know what, this is the problem when you get back home, you forget everything you did, which is good that I've got my phone with me, but I had a steak, and Connor got the biggest steak known to man. I can't even remember what it's called, but he got a big steak. and it was lovely. We had lots of wine, lots of raki. If you've been to Crete before, you've probably been handed the free raki at the end, and oh my god, in my personal opinion, it tastes like paint stripper. So, but it was fun and so generous. One thing I will say about the people in Crete, I've never been to actually the mainland of Greece, so I can't tell you about there, but from what I know, everybody's super friendly, and yeah, it was just good vibes the whole holiday. So no notes. After that it got very silly. We went back to the villa, drank loads of tequila, played loads of games, was listening to the whole Kylie Minogue NTS radio mix. Yeah, it was one of those nights. So woke up feeling slightly not the freshest, but nothing a good brekkie, lie in the pool, relax couldn't fix. I don't think we actually did that much in the day, but then in the evening we went back to the front area where we went for dinner the night before, and we had a few cocktails whilst the boys watched the football. But I had a pina colada. Always gonna have a pina colada on holiday. Delicious. And then the next day was one of my favourite days. We booked a boat trip to go from the capital city, I think it's pronounced Heraklion. Again, my pronunciations are shocking, so I apologise. So we got Penelope again to take us to the city centre, which is around 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes from our villa. So it's a bit of a trek, so we wanted to make the most of it. And we paid about 80 euros-ish for the boat trip, and that included a catamaran, a meal, unlimited drinks, but I wouldn't say they were stingy with drinks, but they weren't like giving them often. You had to kind of go up and get them, which isn't a problem really. Not a problem at all. Obviously we got to swim in the sea, there was paddle boards. I really liked the paddle boards actually, because it kind of gave you a bit of respite from the swimming. But yeah, it was so good. Me, Chloe and Amy actually like swum to shore, and where you could like stand up, and it was just a beautiful island. I think it was called Dia Island, and just the day was amazing. We obviously docked back into the capital again, and we thought we'd take that opportunity to kind of have a look around, because it was the afternoon by that time, and we weren't sure whether it was worth coming for a day trip to the capital or whether we just add it onto the boat trip day. And we decided to just add it onto the boat trip day. We kind of hit a few of the tourist spots that I found on Google. We found this beautiful church, loads of beautiful buildings, had a quick walk around the centre, went in lots of different shops, was very tempted to bring back like a big huge tin of olive oil, didn't. Then obviously stumbled and fell into a bar again, but we were good this time and said that we were actually going to have dinner at home, and we had burgers made by Connor. He was practically our private chef on the holiday, which was lovely. Thanks, Connor, if you're next to Chloe when she's watching this. Lol. One thing I did forget to say though, on the boat trip they do cater for gluten-free. What I found is everywhere we went, really good for gluten-free. Didn't really have to worry once. So big thumbs up from a celiac. Then the next day, I think this was Tuesday, definitely just had a bit of a sunbathe day. We had chicken gyros this day, made it in the villa, and oh, I think that was my favourite meal that we made. I say we, again, Connor made, but it was so good. Had a proper like relaxing day. Is this the day we did Olympics? It actually might have been. In the afternoon we did an Olympics. We split into two groups. I was with Brad and Ash, and then the other group was Chloe, Connor and Amy. We were kind of neck and neck for a while, and then they did edge us to the win. So you know, sometimes you gotta let them win. The next morning, I do actually think I picked up the camera and filmed a bit. Good morning. We are, I think, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days into the holiday, and I'm only just picking up the camera. I was wondering who was coming through the door, but it's actually Chloe. She was sat with me. It's been the best holiday so far. You should have seen loads of clips of what we've been up to, but I thought I'd actually sit down whilst I'm here and speak to the camera. One thing I didn't show, and it's probably because I haven't had much time to read, but I thought I'd show anyway, is the books I picked up at the airport. I have my Kindle and I'm reading, oh bloody hell, I don't know which one it is now. I'm reading Empire of Storms, which is the 5th Throne of Glass book in the series. And I thought I was like 50%, no, I was like 40% of the way through that book, so I thought I'd easily get that through that, because on a holiday I read loads. But when you're with friends, it's a little bit different. Like, we did Olympics yesterday for the whole afternoon, so there was just no reading involved whatsoever. So this is why I chose these books, is a little bit, I was overreaching a little bit with how much I thought I would read, but it's fine because I'm going to read them at home anyway, because I'm really excited by them. The first one I got is Diabound. Look, not even read one page, so that's not ideal. But Sophia Tuxford recommended this on TikTok, and we all know that whatever she recommends I tend to do. She could tell me to jump off a cliff and I'd probably do it. But apparently it's like Fourth Wing, but with wolves, I want to say. So I'm excited for that. And then I wanted just like not a fantasy one, and just like a classic story that I used to read, because I never used to be a fantasy girl. So I got Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was definitely on my Goodreads list, and Taylor Jenkins Reid is an author that I've really enjoyed her books before, so yeah, I got this one too. Not made a dent in either two, but that's okay. Today we are going to the beach. I'm in the lovely outdoor area, by the way. Oh, and we've got really clear blue skies today, so I'm very excited by that. And yeah, did I say we're going to the beach? I think I did. We're going to the beach this morning, which will be really lovely, and probably doing some more Olympics in the afternoon. Do you want to come and say hi, Chloe? She's brought out the mozzie spray because we are all getting, yeah. Morning. Do you know what would be really nice?
What?
The same coffee as I had yesterday.
That's what I'm making.
The same coffee. Yeah. I just showed the books I'd said. I think I was overreaching a little bit with how much I'd read.
I want to as well, and I've not.
How much have you read?
Well, I've got partway through the first one, but I already had started it.
That's like mine. I'm like almost done on my Kindle, but I was already like 40% the way through. But I'm now 70, so I have done 30%, and those Throne of Glass books are humongous. So
they are massive. What about 800 pages-ish?
Yeah.
Maybe not quite.
What's been your favourite part of the holiday so far?
It's tough, really.
I know.
I've enjoyed the meals at home.
But I've also really enjoyed when we cook here.
And like, I really enjoyed the boat trip.
I loved the boat trip.
It was good to go out and do something different.
But then yesterday was so fun. I didn't really get to show much of the games. Maybe I'll try and perch a camera on the side, and it just gets very competitive. And a little bit savage, so we'll see. Unfortunately my team did lose yesterday.
But I was on a team with the two most competitive people, so
yeah, you did have it tough. But yeah, that's all the update I've got for today. I'll just show the beach. Let me show my outfit quick because I like it today. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, so I've got this bikini on, which is like white and blue, and a little white shirt, these linen trousers from TikTok, and I'm ready for the beach. You're giving the same colour vibes as me today.
Hey, that's nice bikini.
Thank you. We're giving Greek, aren't we?
It is giving Greek, actually. It's giving plates at Wetherspoons.
Oh.
In a good way. Greek.
Incredible. We found such a good spot thanks to Brad. Just randomly, he loves Google. That guy zooms in on Google all the time finding random things. It's like his form of social media, but it works. And we went to this beautiful restaurant called Yamas. That was obviously a key little word that we'll use in all holiday. Had some lovely mussels, but I don't know whether it was the mussels or the pizza the night before that I did make. Set my stomach off. It was not doing well for me, and I did unfortunately feel a bit sick that day, and I was actually sick, so that wasn't great. But there's no blame there. Can't know what it was. Probably was my cooking, to be honest. I don't think I cooked the dough properly enough. So yeah, the ending of that night wasn't great. I think we just played some card games to keep it very chill because I was suffering. And the next day also had a super chill day because it was the day before we went home. We wanted to get it in as much sun as possible and just relax, maybe play a lot of, I was gonna say a little bit of cards, it wasn't at all, it was a lot of cards. I actually asked ChatGPT to create us a traitors game using cards and 6 players, and it did it perfectly, and we were obsessed with doing that. I don't think I was actually the traitor once, so, but I did get voted out a lot. I obviously look not very trusting according to my friends, which is rude. I kept getting murdered actually, so that's even ruder. Most of the time by Brad, so cheers Brad. And then the next day was the last day, unfortunately, but we had the whole day because our flight wasn't until 11 p.m. We didn't actually do that on purpose, they were just the flight times, and unfortunately if we wanted it early in the day it was going to add like about 400 quid onto the price, and that wasn't worth it. So I, being the MVP that day, found us a beach club that we could go to. Oh god, what was the name of it now, because it was actually really nice. TO. The beach club was called TO, and it's brand new. I think it opened this year, and amazing for if you need somewhere to go before you go for a flight, because obviously we had to be out the villa for about 10 a.m, 11 a.m, and then we got Penelope to pick us up for our last journey, and she took us to the beach club. There was a pool, a beach, you got a padded sun lounger or like a double sun lounger, towel, place to shower, place to change, toilets, a free bottle of water. Don't think so, but that was all 25 euros per person, and I think that's so worth it. Oh, place to put your luggage, did I say that? In a locked away place, so that was really good. And then the restaurant was lovely, it had some sushi, and we just chilled there all day until we went and wandered off to a little restaurant around the corner that Penelope had suggested to us. That was kind of like an authentic Crete place and was lovely again. They even gave us free desserts, like these massive mounds of cake. I obviously couldn't have it, but Brad had double, and I had the fruit and the ice cream that they gave us as well. That's what I mean by they're so generous. Like, wow, they wouldn't do that in England, would you? You wouldn't be getting free big plates of chocolate cake, would you? But, and then we headed to the airport for the long wait. Anyway, I really need to wrap this up because my camera is flashing, and I really want to make some lunch because I've just got in from work, because God, back to reality already. I'm gonna make chicken soup if anyone's asked. But yeah, it was such a beautiful holiday. End of September was gorgeous weather. There was obviously a few cloudy moments. There was actually a few rainy moments. They were like, whoa, this is the first rain since April. And me and Chloe were like, oh God, because we both fear we have this like rain curse, because when we went interrailing, it rained like in every city we went to. But other than that, you got at least 1 to 2 hours at least of good sun a day. Some days was like stunning all day. So I highly recommend going at that time of the year. Crete kind of shuts down, we were told, in about November and doesn't open back up until April, I think, tourism wise. So like this kind of year it's just really lovely to go. And Penelope was saying that the tourism isn't doing that well there, so everybody go to Crete and say hi to Penelope. But yeah, I highly recommend the restaurants we went to. I think I've missed out a few, because we did go to one where there was these parrots in there, and bless, it was just this man and woman doing everything. What did I have? I think I had gyros again. But yeah, I've definitely missed out a few moments, but I think I've got the key ones in there. Definitely recommend going to Greece. I think I've said that before, and it's really made me want to actually go to other places in Greece. So yeah, I think that's all I've got to say. I'm going back to full autumn mode now, and I will see you next week for another video.